welcome to the Life of Kai. It is Monday, I think March 21st. So thank you for joining me because, of course, I'm sure y'all could be doing other things, but you are here with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So really quick, this is going to be our business cast. That's what I'm going to call it, our business cast for the week, where I'll just review, what's going on in my business. I don't have any kind of like national business news, anything like that. I could do that eventually. I think that may be something to look into. But for now, it'll just be, what's going on in my business, what kind of goals I have, uh, you know, what I'm working on, a review of last week, what my outlook is for this week, things of that nature. So just getting started, the most present thing I could even talk about or thinking to talk about is our gas prices. So gas prices are, they've been up. Everybody's making TikToks and, uh, you know, Instagram posts about the gas prices and everything like that, which totally understand that. But at the end of the day, we still got to get from point A to point B. We still got work to do. So there's no it's the world ain't gonna stop. Um, so just to kind of touch on that real quick, with me, so in my business, I have a 26-foot box truck. It uses 87 unleaded, so it's not a diesel engine. It's a V8 Ford V8, and so it uses 87. So I am very grateful for like not having to pay for diesel, because diesel is on another level right now. It's like high fives. I think last time I saw one was like four, or no, not high fives, high fours. So like 495, 497, somewhere around there. Um, you know, so I'm glad that I don't have to deal with that issue right now. Um, I know I'm going to be putting myself into that situation a lot sooner than that's my goal, rather. Is by saying that, I mean purchasing another truck. So purchasing my own truck, it'll be diesel, of course, because gas, I believe, and if I'm wrong, don't crucify me, but I believe diesel burns slower than gas. Um, so with that, but yeah, so gas prices they've been high. It seems that they've kind of like stagnated and maybe coming down in our area, at least in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, in Nashville and Knoxville as well, because I'm driving there. So that's where sorry. So that's where I'm seeing. So like in Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, they seem to be pretty steady now. So with that being said, they're and they've actually been dropping a little bit as well. So right now it's about what I'm seeing is like 398, like right down the road from my house, and then I think across town today I saw uh, at like as low as like 381. So that's a plus. Really cool. That takes the truck that I have now, that 26-foot box truck. I believe it has a 50-gallon tank. It takes about 210 per load that I'm doing. Um, so 210 roughly. I believe that's my average. A good round average would be just be $200 a night, pretty much on gas. Per night that I drive. So that's what I'm looking at right now. With gas and everything like that, fuel. Um, the next thing, how my week has been going so far. So I haven't gotten a load yet. It's only Monday. I'll say that, but the week's restarted with Amazon. It restarted Saturday night, so Sunday morning. I had a load booked for last night. It was going to be 7:55, I want to say, and it was going to go from Laverne to let me see, the other. It was going to go from like Laverne to Rockwood, Tennessee, and then there was one other place right outside of Knoxville, was where it was going to be taking me. They canceled that load on me. I'll go to sleep usually if I have a load. This one was set for 11:40. So if I have a load that early, I'll go to sleep at around 6. Um, Tonight my load is at No, it's at 12:40. So an hour later, I'll be going to sleep here soon. I'm shooting this right now. It's about 7 o'clock p.m. So I'll like most times I'll go ahead and be like getting some sleep. Sometimes I don't get into the bed, a little bit later on. But with last night, like I started my nap. I went sleeping around 6, woke up at like 7:50 ish or whatever, and I checked it because I just checked the relay app because I was like, well, you know, make sure I got the right time or so. I don't know, something woke me up, told me to check the time of the load. So I checked it, it was gone. So at that point, I'm like, well, shit, like, um, either either I did something wrong, either I didn't accept it on my end, I didn't assign a driver. Sometimes they'll like cancel it if you don't do certain things on your end. But I reached out to Amazon. They were like, yeah, basically they don't have enough freight to be moved tonight, so that's why they canceled that one. So yes, I canceled that. So that was going to be my first trip for this week. Hopefully tonight will be my first trip. I've got one at $665 going from from Laverne, Tennessee, over to Macedonia Lane, which is in Knoxville, Tennessee. So it'll be I think it's about 185 miles total from start to finish. Like I said, that load is going to start at about I got to have it picked up by 12:40. So or 12:30. So I've got to be loaded up and out of there. My goal usually is to be loaded up and out by the arrival time, which my arrival time is 12:40, I believe. So usually I want to be in and out prior to that so that I can, you know, for one, I like being early. For two, I like to get home a lot quicker. Then I don't want to be out all night, basically. So if I can get there early and get started getting loaded up early, then that's a plus. So that'll be that. Um, the last week, touch on last week. So last week I did 4 loads total, and I ended up at about 2,500, so $2,544.38 for last week. Um, Granted, gas with 4 trips, that's about $800. So knock that off. Um, Rental costs, they haven't actually they haven't hit me for last week yet, but that'll be tomorrow. I'll make that payment tomorrow for rental. I'd imagine that'll be somewhere around probably in the sevens. I didn't do crazy mileage, so especially with 4 trips. The good thing about these trips now is that Amazon is actually like looking out because gas prices are higher. They're paying higher. Um, Little do they know that I'm not paying diesel prices on gas. So I mean, with them going up for all the guys driving diesel, it's still helping me out. With me paying for gas. But granted, I know, that's I appreciate them looking out for all the drivers still. I mean, because that's a blessing for sure. Because they could just, I mean, well, I don't say they could. They are in a tight bind because they don't have anybody to move freight because they aren't paying. I need to move this. But yeah, so they would. I mean, technically they have to go up anyways if people don't take those freight, the trips that they have posted, um, because they aren't high enough. Then they're gonna have to go up anyway. So I mean, it's just good that they are actually doing that and not like doing other things, I guess. And I don't know what other things could be, but it's cool. All right, then next topic is gonna be so. Um, so I'm working at one of my goals for this month is to have purchased a truck by the end of this month. March 31st. My goal is to have purchased a truck. Like I said a little, a couple seconds ago. So I'll be getting into a diesel truck, 26 foot, but it'll be mine. I won't be paying a weekly rental fee, which will be crazy because I believe that rental fee. Just averaging out, I'm probably paying around like $3,000 a month just for the rental. Um, and I'm pretty confident I can cut that in half by paying a note on the truck, uh, financing one. Even with them being, pretty high right now because of the demand or whatever, I'm still, pretty confident that I can find one and and be able to cut that $3,000 in half at least, or maybe even less. So fingers crossed on that. But I am getting close. I've been looking at truck paper like nonstop. That's just basically like an eBay site where, well, not eBay. There are auctions on there, but pretty much people just list their trucks on there. A lot of dealerships will list their trucks and things of that nature. So it's a great place to be able to see, what's out there, what's available right now. So I've been, beating that horse to death, using that one. Penske, Enterprise, looking at those. I've actually got a guy at Enterprise that's helping me to find a truck now. And then I also tried another route, which is going to be in the two that I'm talking about, so Truck Paper and Penske and Enterprise. Those routes will be like, I guess, like a car loan, pretty much. Um, Ideally, I could go to those dealerships and or Penske or Enterprise and have them finance it for me through their own banks or whatever, or their financing options. Um, that would be a good way to go. But then I also been looking at using a personal loan to finance the truck and just just pay the personal loan out off. But I kind of shot myself in the foot because I applied for a credit card not too long ago with USAA, which is who I was going to try to get a personal loan with. And they are saying that the time in between when I opened up a new account or that new account, that new credit card account, to now is not. It's not been long enough. Um, so there, that's a no go there. So no go with USAA. So then now, so that put me back at trying Enterprise and Penske, and continue to look at truck paper. Hopefully, the guy at Enterprise will be able to, help me to get into something a lot sooner. Like I said, because that goal is we're about 10 days out roughly from that goal. So we definitely want to get things moving on that. So then now we've got our goal. So like the goal I just spoke about is to get into a truck. So basically to get out of that rental. Um, you know, and I believe if I did the days correctly, we've got about 9 business days to the 31st, and then roughly like I think 10 total. I looked at this yesterday. I did these numbers yesterday, so that may be off by a day or so. Um, but yeah, so that's the timeline we're looking at on that. My new goal for this week is, and I said this yesterday as well, was to do 5 trips this week. I would have, had one last night had that one stayed available. I've got an appointment coming up this Friday, so it's to get my wisdom teeth pulled. So if anyone's had that happen before, um, wish me luck. But yeah, so I got that set up for Friday, so I won't be able to do anything for at least a couple of days after that. So I want to be able to get as much work done as I can. So that one goal is 5 trips this week. So that's that goal, and then that'll still help me to get to my bigger goal, which is 10,000 this month. As of right now, I believe I'm at 6,373 for this month, so not far off at all. And then I've still got like the rest of this week, and then a few more days. Yeah, next week as well. Yeah, for sure. So and then until next Thursday. So yeah, we're gonna blow that out in the water, no problem. So yeah, so that's my bigger goal for this month is 10,000 this week. I mean this month. And then so that's everything we've got. So then just to wrap all this up, I read a quote yesterday from Michael Bobak, who is a contemporary artist, and I am going to read this off of the paper that I wrote it down on. So I'm not looking at the camera. So forgive me for those of you on camera or watching me on video. But here goes the quote: "All progress takes place outside of the comfort zone." Um, you know, Michael Bobek, who's the author of this quote or wrote this quote, he is a contemporary artist. His let me see his own unique style. It says he uses his own technique called smearing in order to blend different images together into a dreamlike whole. Um, and that's whole with a W, so WHOLE. So just by me, what this might mean to me is just like him stepping out of his comfort zone, do something that's not normal, what a lot of artists don't do. Him being someone to create his own type technique is amazing, and to get his credit for that as well. So, but yeah, so what this means to me basically just being comfortable being uncomfortable, and I just paraphrase that from my buddy Chad Wolford. He told me to be comfortable being uncomfortable. In the last position I was in, which was insurance sales, which was very uncomfortable for me. Granted, it helped me to learn a lot. And even with starting a business, that's making getting uncomfortable. um, it's gets my adrenaline going. Usually being uncomfortable, so that's a good thing. But yeah, so that's that quote from Ben Bobek. Let's see, and then the last thing. Well, that was it. So cool. Thank you guys for joining me. Like again said again, today is Monday, so y'all go out there and have a great week, and let's get better. So while I still have you guys, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, leave a comment if you like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this podcast, go ahead and subscribe or follow, however you get your podcast. And again, thank you for your time, and I look to see you in the next one.